All right, I am live on YouTube. How y'all doing, y'all? I see you. I see you. Got me all close to the camera and shit. All right, let me go live on Facebook. One second, just preparing it all. Allow. Live. Add a title. Jonah Bay Show. Jonah Bay Show. March 8th, 2021. All right, there we go. Going live on the Facebook. All right, I got one more thing to go live on. I got to go live on the gram. Can't leave out the gram. You know how that be. I don't know. I think sometimes the gram is more than Facebook and YouTube. But I definitely got way more followers on YouTube. No, I mean Facebook. Definitely got more followers on Facebook.
Cute. I'm cute. Cute. I'm cute.
No, you're not. You're not.
Cute.
You're not cute.
Cute.
You're not cute. Cut it out. Okay, about to go live. All right. I am now live on the gram as well. So I'm live everywhere. Now and I can rock this joint. Someone sent me the naturalization laws and regulations that was done. Shout out to my people who sent it to me. It was printed in 1920, September 24th, 1920. We're going to learn about what they say it takes for you to be naturalized in one of the states and what that means. You know, a lot of people are doing this process where they becoming nationals, state nationals. We're doing the passport process, right? Now, when I show you how to be a national and you do get the national passport, you're doing it as a Moor. You're going to be putting on your Moorish garb, all of that. You're going to do it as a Moor, right? And you're going to be doing a declaration to the Moorish Empire. But when you do it as a state citizen, I got someone that I know, white guy. He's in jail now. He's done that process, and he thought that could keep him out of jail. It did not. So now I'm trying to help him put together a defense to try to get out of jail. But that process, it'll get you on the do not detain federally, but state-wise, it does really nothing for you like that. You know what I mean? So this is why I say statewide, you're going to do your injunction, and then federally, you'll get the national passport too. So you cover all bases. You know what I mean? That's what I would like to do. That's what I do, is cover all bases, but I don't leave no openings for them to grab me up. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna start reading it. Let me first try to put it in the chat. So y'all can follow along with me. You know what I mean? So you know I ain't making nothing up. You can confirm it as we go over it today. All right, so here it is in the chat. And for all of y'all that's on Facebook and that's on YouTube, you might want to Google Jonah Bay Radio. If you Google Jonah Bay Radio, then you can press 1 to ask me questions. You can also put things in the chat where I could read them and get to your questions, because there's no way I can check 4 different places for y'all asking me questions. You know what I mean? So I don't check the questions on YouTube. I don't check the questions on Facebook. I do it on Blog Talk Radio. And it's called Jonah Bay Radio on Blog Talk. So Google Jonah Bay Radio and you'll find out where you can ask me questions at. Just for all the new people. I know you old people already know. So that's what it is. All right, so I'm going to start reading on page 3. Because the first 2 pages is just the front of the book and a spacer page. Naturalization laws and regulations. Naturalization laws. The Act of June 29th, 1906. 34 Stat L Part 1 P, page 596, as amended in sections 16, 17, and 19 by the Act of Congress approved March 4th, 1909. In this section 18 by the Act of Congress approved June 25th, 1910, by the Act of Congress approved March 4th, 1913, creating the Department of Labor, and by the Act of Congress approved May 9th, 1918. An act provided for the uniform rule of naturalization of aliens throughout the United States, establishing the Bureau of Naturalization. Being enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that there is a hereby created executive department in the government to be called the Department of Labor, with the Secretary of Labor, who shall be the head thereof and appointed by the President by and with the advice of consent of Senate. Section 3. That the following named officers, bureaus, divisions, and branches of the public service now and hereforth under the jurisdiction of the Department of Commerce and Labor. Hold on, y'all. I didn't pay attention and messed up my live on Instagram. I gotta put that in my hand so I can always see when it's about to time out. So that the following named officers, bureaus, divisions, and branches of public service now and herefore under the jurisdiction of the Department of Commerce and Labor, that all pertains to the same known as blank, 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 the Bureau, Immigration and Naturalization, blank, 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 Division of Naturalization, blank, 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 be the same and hereby transferred from the Department of Commerce and Labor to the Department of Labor. And the same shall hereafter remain under the jurisdiction and supervision of the last named department. The Bureau of Immigration and Naturalization is hereby divided into 2 bureaus to be known hereafter as the Bureau of Immigration and the Bureau of Naturalization. And the titles of Chief Division of Naturalization Assistant and the Chief shall be the Commissioner of Naturalization and Deputy Commissioner of Naturalization. Now, let me say this real quick. Now, notice they have the Department, the Bureau of Immigration and Naturalization. Well, the immigration is for the aliens coming from other countries. Naturalization, why would you have naturalization? Because they are naturalizing y'all every time they create a birth certificate. So they have a bureau to pull y'all into the United States, which is fraud. Because I'm going to read to you tonight on what it takes for you to be naturalized. And you, your mama, and none of y'all as melanated people, y'all never did any of this. No one you know done any of this. So how are you a U.S. citizen? That's the question. Or was you turned into a U.S. citizen by fraud? Did they turn you into a U.S. citizen because you're the aboriginals of this land so that they could steal your land? Inquiring minds want to know. Is that what went on? Is that what they're doing? Are they stealing your land as an Aboriginal? So this is why we're checking out these laws right now, because, you know, we want to know. We want to know. We want it based off of their words. We want it based off of the things that they say so that we can check them. Because sometimes when you do the process that I show you on how to become a national and get your national passport, they'll try to say, oh, you are a United States citizen. So I figured I'll go over these laws with you so you know there's no way in hell you could ever be a US citizen. Like a brother had tried, he just tried it off my video. He didn't know that the video doesn't have all the information or the updated information. Excuse me. So they sent him and said, by your application and the documents you gave me, i.e. your birth certificate, it proves you are a United States citizen. So I said, yo, bro, they gave you 30 days to rebut all that shit. You're going to have to rebut it. And unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for the kit of how to do the nationality for you to fix the things that they're telling you because you tried it on your own. Now, I have a template for you to handle all that shit they said. But I said, do you know your birth certificate? I said, pick it up. Nowhere on the birth certificate does it say United States, does it? I said, no. I said, so how you United States? How the birth certificate proves you are a United States citizen? It proves that you're a citizen of that state, that country, right? But not the United States. And I says, you know, these are the places where I'm grabbing the actual rules and throwing it into their face to prove what you're saying is bullshit. They even told him he was 14th Amendment. I'm like, wow, the Baby Act says something different about that. But let me go on and read. Go on back, read. All right, so it goes on to say, the Bureau of Immigration and Naturalization is hereby divided into two bureaus to be known hereafter as the Bureau of Immigration and the Bureau of Naturalization. The titles of Chief Division of Naturalization and Assistant Chief shall be Commissioner of Naturalization, the Deputy Commissioner of Naturalization. The Commissioner of Naturalization, in his absence, the duty of Commissioner of Naturalization shall be the administrative officer in charge of the Bureau of Naturalization and the administration of naturalization laws under immediate direction of the Secretary of Labor, to whom shall report directly upon naturalization matters annually and otherwise required. Now, think about this. This was done before 1933. This was done before the bankruptcy. In case y'all wondering, no, I am not drinking soda. This is sparkling water. Water. You know, don't eat that way. Don't drink no soda. But anyway, they did this before 1933. They were putting in laws to prepare to do 1933. They didn't just willy-nilly do 1933. They didn't willy-nilly wait for it to be in bankruptcy. They were already putting y'all into getting ready to put 14th Amendment citizens into the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor? You know, when you go to the labor department, what you're doing is getting hired. They were getting ready to what? Naturalize the people that was here into the United States, i.e. the corporation, what they call a municipal corporation. And they were going to take all the new immigrants and put them inside the corporation 10 square miles in the United States, Washington, D.C., municipal corporation. So this is what this is talking about, right? All the way back in 1909, they were already setting y'all's asses up. Shout out to Joey. If y'all didn't see his show yesterday, he went in talking about, how all the governments are trustees, right? And it's trust. Government is trust. I've been telling y'all that. And it's up to the trust protectors and the actual uh, creators of the trust, the settlers, to keep the trustees inside the trust. Make sure they do only the stuff that's inside the trust. The American people were the trust protectors. The American people themselves were the ones that dropped the ball and started letting these people create laws and do things that was outside of the authority that they had inside the trust called government. It was your fault. This is why y'all supposed to read stuff like this. Y'all supposed to know this stuff, to know what they can do and what they can't, because they will tell you anything. They will just lie to you and tell you, oh, you ain't got a leg to stand on. But their documents is why you got to know their laws. Say something different. Say something totally different than what they be saying. So let's go on. That the Bureau of Naturalization, under the direction of the control of the Secretary of Labor, shall have charge of all matters concerning naturalization of aliens, and that it shall be the duty of the Bureau of Immigration to provide for use at the various immigration stations throughout the United States books of records wherein the Commissioner of Immigration shall cause a registry to be made in case of each alien arriving in the United States from and after the passage of this act, in the name and age, occupation, personal description, including height, complexion, color of hair, and eyes, the place of birth, the last residence, the intended place of residence in the United States, and the date of arrival of said alien, and if entered through a port, name of the vessel in which he comes. And it shall be the duty of the said Commissioner of Immigration to cause to be granted in such alien a certificate of such registry with the particulars thereof. Now, there's plenty of foreign people that came from all over the world that did that. They did that at Ellis Island. They did that at the Secretary of State's office in the various states, AKA the Republic, the countries, like country of New York, country Cali, country of Carolina, North, South. Now, so-called African Americans, where's your records? Where's your records of your ancestors coming here? They claim that they grabbed you up and brought you here on slave ships. That's what they claim. Where's the actual registration of that? Where is your first ancestor that came here on a slave ship? Because he was definitely documented as being a slave if it happened. That's what the law is telling you. But those records don't exist, y'all. And if you're a slave, you should even have more records than what this law is describing. Where's the damn records? Where's the records? Now, it's funny. The same time they got records talking about they pulled y'all from Africa or wherever else they claim they pulled you from, African Americans. Why is it melanated so-called African Americans, black people here in America owning property? Your names is on deeds to houses, lands, farms all over America. They got those records, and they said slaves didn't own land. Y'all own land, but they ain't got no. They got the records of you owning land, but they ain't got no records of when they brung your slave ass over here, right? The only goddamn records they have are the immigrant records of so-called white people coming here through these centers. But y'all believe the story that you were slaves. Now, what's funny is I'm 50, right? Why is it I never even heard of slavery in school until they came out with the movie and the book Roots? That's when I first heard about it. My whole life, my ancestors, my grandmama, great-grandmama, great-great-grandmama, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, they used to take me fishing, riding dirt bikes, stuff like that. They always said we were Indians. We were Indians. Then Roots come and all of a sudden, remix, the Puffy remix. No, you African American. We brung you over here. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. Where's the records? Where's the records? We're gonna go back and read this. I'm gonna open up the call line real quick. See how y'all going with this shit. Because there's supposed to be a clear record of all you motherfuckers, height, weight, all that shit of the motherfuckers they brung over here. Where's those records, y'all? Matter of fact, there's no records, but where's the boats? Do you know there is not one slave ship in a museum here in America? Not one. Where's those slave ships at? And they claim they brung actually 500,000 people actually made it to America. That's what they say. 500,000. And they said they lost another 500,000 in the Middle Passage. That means 1 billion people they transported from Africa. How many people live in Africa now? How many people you think? I can tell you right here in North America, we only have 300, like, we have under 500,000. It's in the threes. It's in the threes, the mid threes. So they brought more slaves over here than people are here in America now, with the Mexicans and every other immigrant that's here now. That's what they're telling you, right? How many ships? How many ships would it take to move that many people? Did you know the average ship back then was about 45 feet long? Do you know that's just a tractor trailer? You know the crates that they use to make homes now? That's how big it was. How many boats? Let's say 50 feet. Matter of fact, let's say 60. How many boats would it take to move that many people from Africa? Africa's a long trip too. It's not a quick trip. How long would that take? So we ain't got no records. We ain't got no boats. Lucy, there's something wrong with your story. That's what Ricky Ricardo used to say to Lucy. I love Lucy if you ever seen the show. Lucille Ball, a comedian. So I'm going to go to the call lines. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Does this shit make sense to you? Does it really make sense? I'm going to 719-301. Do me a favor, y'all. Stay on subject. Stay on subject. Everyone got something to add to this subject. Stay on subject. All right, 719-301. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace. Peace. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for the large sums of money and good fortune that flow to us all quickly and easily.
Ashe.
You know, we've all said this. Ashe. We've all said this in the past, but all that bullshit goes to the credit of the Christian program and the church, because that was the main system that was used to denationalize people. The front of religion and spirituality. It was mostly all them pastors back then and still now that pushed the whole "we came from Africa" shit, and that was used directly against.
But even like 40, 45 years ago, those pastors wasn't pushing that. I was in church back then. They weren't pushing that. That's all happened after Roots. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I'm half a century.
Jackson,
I'm half a century. Let me tell you, it's so deep. It's so deep. Let me tell you, it's so deep. When I was growing up, we didn't have color TVs. We had black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And it had two dials on it, right? And you had one TV in your house. It was a big ass box, and it was in your living room. It had a record player on top of it, right? And your TV was your radio, your TV, and your record player all in one, B. Right? Yo, all this technology is new. We had phones in our house, and we only had the rotary phone. That means it was a circle. You stick your finger where a number was, and you dial it around. Then it goes back. You dial it around again. You dial. Yeah, we didn't even have push buttons.
Yeah.
Right? Dog. We didn't even have a digital watch. I was about 10, 11 when they created digital watches. Dog. Half my life, they didn't have phones on the corner outside. That happened around when I got turned around 9. They had payphones. Dog, I'm telling you, I watched them create all this technology in my lifetime, the last 50 years. And y'all believe the story? I don't think there ever was anyone really named Nikola Tesla.
Come on, man. That's all our ancient technology.
Dog, they did before Tesla was supposedly, before he even became over here as an immigrant, the Chicago World Fair and the World Fair that was all over America, right? They had working lights everywhere around America. You can go pull up the Chicago World Fair and all that and see the pictures. This was before there was a Nikola Tesla here in America. So who made the lighting system? Where's the generator that produced the light?
The air.
Exactly. But they ain't telling you that. Don't you know their job was to destroy the old technology that you Moors had? Right? And create an inferior technology with fossil fuel so that they can control. None of the stories that y'all have is correct, man. All these coveted brownstones that's all around America are ancient. They're not new buildings. They're old buildings. You can't tell how old a building is that's made out of natural stone. Hell, it's hard for you to tell how old a brick is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they ain't tell no one the truth about nothing. There was a reset. Yo, to keep it 100 with y'all, all this shit they doing with the coronavirus, the vaccinations, all of that is to try to do a reset. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. Google Georgia Guidestones. They made this megalithic granite thing that kind of looked like something out of Egypt and something mixed with what's
like
that?
Stonehenge type
Stonehenge,
shit.
yeah. It's in that style. It's a mixture. It has every language on the planet almost. Well, not every, but the most popular ones, right? And it's saying it wants the world to only have 500 million people around the world. We almost got that many people in just North America, right?
Wow.
They're trying to do a reset. They're trying to do a reset. If you go into your Bible, they talk about the reset. What was the reset in the Bible?
Right.
The flood.
The flood.
Right? The Anunnaki stories all around the world. Every daggone, I don't care where you live in this world, they have some story of a flood that reset the whole shit. Right? And they got so much misinformation. It's unreal. People actually want to believe the world is flat. That's misinformation. I can show you the Ica stones. That's an ancient library from our most ancient times that proves the world was round. Our ancestors said it was round. Right? These people claim that, or the flat earth theory says that the stars are within the firmament. They call the firmament some dome that's around the earth. Now, the funny thing is, I studied religion my whole life. The firmament, we were taught the firmament was the asteroid belt. It divides the upper planets from the lower planets. Yeah, and in the story of the Anunnakis, they tell you when the firmament came about and how it came about. Right?
Yes, it does.
Now, they claim it's this dome, but I have my I don't know if y'all people got telescopes. I got a telescope right there that sees in space, right? Got a big ass telescope. And you can see that type of stuff up there. Where the fuck's the asteroid belt? How's it going to be in a dome? How is it that meteors and asteroids hits the planet to this day? But we in a dome? They're doing misinformation 24/7 on the origins of everything. On everything. Why? Why, you say?
Right.
To control you. To control everyone. That's what they're doing. How the hell you even gonna fight a war if you don't know the territory? You don't know what your continent look like. You don't know what the planet look like. You don't know none of that. How you gonna fight a war? Unless they tell you. They tell you this is it and don't go this no further. Right? It's a whole bunch of ancient shit that they don't want you to see because it tears apart the lies. But you got anything else to add on to the conversation or a question or something?
Yeah.
Before I move on to the next
I was
caller.
going to ask, what type of telescope?
I'm going to get my telescope right now. Hold on.
All right.
My telescope is called Tasco. And for the people who's on live, I put it right behind me. I hope most of y'all can see it. Y'all should be able to see it if y'all looking at any of the lives. Yeah, it's right behind me on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all can see it. Now, see, I don't have no need to front. I don't have no need to make up shit. Because as a Moor, I'm supposed to be knowing. Which means if someone gives me a theory that goes against what I thought it was, I'm going to check it out. I'm not going to believe nobody. I'm going to check it out myself. So if y'all think flat earth, by God daggone telescope. If you don't think the earth is flat, you think it's round, buy a damn telescope. Check it out your damn self, man. Check it out your damn self. So stop believing people. Become knowing.
How do you think people here started buying the whole back to Africa situation?
Because, listen, if you give me your kids at the age of 5, I can teach them that red is blue and blue is red. Right. And then if you allow me to teach them all the way up until getting out of high school, when someone comes with the truth, they say, yo, that shit's in reverse, man. Blue is actually red and red is actually blue. That shit's in reverse. Right?
Right.
They're going to say I'm a damn fool because they just taught a whole generation that lie. Right? And so y'all ain't teaching y'all ain't teaching your kids shit because y'all too busy working. Right?
Right.
Y'all not even familiar with what the kids is learning every day. But y'all wonder why Jonah homeschooled to control what they were taught. Look behind me.
Exactly.
The British Oxford English Dictionary up under that. Encyclopedia Britannica. Right? To give them facts. There is a scholarship called the Rhodes Scholar. It's the highest, it's way beyond a doctorate degree. Highest degree you can get. And they only teach them out of encyclopedias. What's your level of education? What is your level of education? Are you even capable of being a parent if you don't have the correct information to teach your kids? I'm talking to mothers. I'm talking to fathers. What are you just winging it? And then you wonder why the kids don't turn out properly. Y'all don't even have a plan for yourself. Less more your kids on what they need to know to be successful in this world. So they become what we call useless eaters. That's what the government calls y'all. Y'all ain't doing shit for no one, ain't producing nothing. That shit gotta stop. Noble Drew Ali said, Moors, look your best. Moors, do your best. What's your best? The best of the best of the best. Kobe Bryant said, when you at the top of your game and you doing, do more. Do more. I could throw in a suit, right? I do, right? But how many people are throwing on Louis ties? How many of y'all are throwing on, I don't know if you can see that, Louis cufflinks? That's what Louis cufflinks. That's what I'm talking about, the best of the best of the best. So Wednesday, I'm going to throw on my guard. I just bought a nameplate, all silver, with my name written in gold. It's going to go on my vest, my Terra Bush. Gold and silver on my vest. And I'm putting the 2 seals, 5-pointed star, and a 6-pointed star with my name right across that bitch. Moors,
That's
do
how
your
it should
best. Moors, be your best. And then I'm going to get one of those Moorish heads that's made out of gold and precious jewels of a Moor sitting right there in the middle. Because that's what our ancestors did. I'm representing for
Absolutely,
our
absolutely.
ancestors. That's what it means by Moors, do your best. Be your best. All the way.
No
With
doubt.
your knowledge, with your information, with the law that you know, with the way you present yourself in public, with everything. We're supposed to be the best of the best of the best. Only way to do that, study your ass off. And then if you have that knowledge, you pass it on to your kids become the best of the best of the best, even better than your ass. Because they got less to learn. They can take it further because you already gave them the information you had while teaching them while they were growing up. Each generation gets better. Instead, we're okay with each generation getting worse. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. We got to clean this shit up. And you know what's sad? Do you know it's only been about 3 generations since we've gotten this way?
Yeah.
3 generations ago, you was hard pressed to see a melanated man that didn't have on a suit. Hard pressed. Malcolm X wore suits as a pimp. Pimps today still wear suits. Right? So what the fuck happened? I can tell you what happened, but people get mad at me if I say it. The women's lib happened. Women's lib happened. They separated the black family. They coddled the black woman, and the government became her man. She started raising the kids alone without the input of the man. We're meant to be a family. We're not meant to be alone. That's what happened.
Right.
Man is logical. Man stays on budget. Man enforces things that is logical to us that looks unimportant to a woman. They needed that. They needed that other side. Of course, all the kids need what the woman brings to the table, which is being a nurturer. But the man brings the rules. He brings the rules. And that's what happened. That's what happened.
Oh.
And it wasn't y'all's fault. We were set up. We were set up. Back then, 3 generations ago, we had trades. We had trades. We knew how to do shit.
You said we were set up?
Yeah, we were set up. The government.
By who?
The same motherfucker that told you were African American and they got you from Africa.
But you know, most of our people was doing that here too, though. Because we mostly
doing
ran
what?
the government back then too. Selling out and shit.
Listen, there was never a time, believe it or not, there was never a time that so-called melanated people was not in government. We've always been in government, right?
Right.
First of all, you got to understand, number one, when you talk about Europeans and the Europeans coming over here and taking over America, Britain, you weren't talking about white people. That wasn't white people.
Exactly.
That was melanated people that came here and wanted to set up their system of government here to control serfdom, which is what we have today, serfdom. The straw man is a serfdom system where you can't own anything. The sovereign, the Lord, owns everything. Lord, landlord. All throughout the Bible, the Quran, it talks about the Lord. Oh, you were thinking they were talking about God? No, they were talking about lords.
Nah.
The feudal system.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you know,
you have that now. This is why I'm doing the webinar this weekend for your trust, so it won't be under no lord. Allodial title. Under what they call a covenant. with your ancestor, a covenant with God,
Right.
Yahweh, whatever you want to call him.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? We got to go back to knowing.
Yeah.
Knowing. We don't
Absolutely.
know no more. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Yo,
We
before
got
I
to
lose
stop
y'all,
being
I
poor,
sent
righteous
the email.
teachers, man. It's unacceptable. We got to do for
Absolutely.
self. It's unacceptable. If you want an example, the perfect
doubt.
example of doing for self and dressing for success is the Nation of Islam. Facts. They never stopped. We got to step it up. We can't believe the
Absolutely.
lies. We got to dispel lies with facts.
Yo, I sent you an email regarding the nationality.
I'm going to get to you.
non-citizen
I'm going to get to
certificate.
you. I had too many.
Oh, okay.
Y'all got to understand that
Okay.
March is the busiest a month of the year for me.
Yeah.
I got my birthday,
Yeah, birthday.
kids.
Yeah.
I got so much things for family jumping off in March. So I get behind.
Right.
I'm doing good this March, but I get behind. But I plan on returning those
doubt.
calls for that tomorrow.
Absolutely,
But anyway, brother,
doubt. Peace to the God, guys.
peace to the God. All right, I'm going to the next call. I'm going to 424-281. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace, God.
Peace, God. I mean,
Peace
so
to God. How you?
I'm doing wonderful, magnificent, and great. How you doing, brother?
Same, bro. Same, bro. Yeah. This shit is, bro. It's gonna be a very difficult task for us to undo what's been done for eons, bro. They did this from day one. This is the conditioning that we have, bro. We deal with this. Any true Moor, any sister, anybody out there that's a Moor that's teaching this information, we already know what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But for those that will take heed to this shit, then those are the ones that'll
Right. But see, this is why
and wake up.
This is why I say we gotta relearn everything. You gotta admit you don't know and become knowing. Because anybody who's in business today knows that story can't be true. So where is Europe? Where is Ireland and all that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's landlocked. You know it's landlocked, right?
That's right.
They barely even have any streams of water going through that bitch. Did you know that? It's rocky.
Yeah, wow.
It's rocky.
Right.
There's no trees, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
How they build the boats?
No vegetation.
How they build the boats? Where they get the wood from? Where did they get the iron from to make the nails? Where are the trees that produce the glue boats together? See, I watch YouTube and I watch shit because my goal is to get a big ass yacht, right? I want to see how it's made.
All right.
I want to see how it's made.
No doubt.
So I watch shit like that, right?
Right.
Where did all those... See, you got to understand, you have to be in the business of building boats to be able to build a boat. You have to know where to get all the supplies, and them supplies come all from over Africa, right? All the people that live near the sea know how to make boats and got all the supplies to make boats. Where did all the hemp or cotton come from to make the sails? So you're going to tell me these motherfuckers walked into Africa or rode a horse, whatever, started grabbing up Africans near the coast, the Ivory Coast, forced them to make them boats, forced them to go all over Africa to collect all the raw material they need to make the boats, then kicked their ass some more and put them on the boats and came to America.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, once you break the story down, you took it apart. Yeah, bro.
Well, hold on.
It has no weight.
You did all of that shit and you don't have the records of the people and the boats they came on it, just like the Lord said you had to have?
There it is.
Hmm?
There it is. I guess Ancestry.com ain't got that.
Right.
They ain't got that.
Explain it to me. I mean, I'm open-minded, but when I start putting the business into that story, come on, man. Come on.
Right.
Because a fishing boat ain't the same as a seafaring boat. That's a whole nother animal. That's a whole nother animal. And they barely had fishing boats because they didn't have no water. Explain this shit to me. Right?
Right.
Because the story ain't never happened like that. The fucking people that came here was people that settled Britain. They took it from being what y'all call the original name was Albion, and the Moor killed off the giant called Albion, and it became Britain by the British Moors, right? The brutish Moors, right? So they already had that technology of sailing and all that. And they just came across. And when they came across, they were bringing their white slaves. There's many books out there. They were white slaves cargo.
Right.
Check out that book. It's all over. The books are everywhere. But you ain't going to find those books in
just like people
school.
Right. Like the Vikings. Same thing.
The Vikings was black. This is what I'm saying. They Moors.
Right. Right. They Moors.
Spoke Arabic. Wrote in Arabic.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
But how come we ain't letting all our kids know that? Yo, check it. Why we ain't got charter schools? Why we ain't got our own charter schools? It doesn't take that much money. It doesn't take that much money.
No, it doesn't.
Right? So, when I was on the old station, I did a whole week of it, showing y'all the Delaware Moors where they had their own license, their own schools, their own everything. And it was illegal for anyone else that wasn't a Moor to go to that Moor school. What happened? What happened? Y'all lost y'all's history. That's what happened. That's why those schools don't exist no more. When are we going to bring them back? Now, you can't say, well, Jonah, what you going to do about it? This is my school right now. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, you going in, bro. You ain't got to prove. Bro, you ain't got to fuck these people out here trying to show and prove, man. You been here longer than any teacher going in on this shit, bro. And we can contest to that. So if you was doing any fraudulent shit or misguiding the people, a few of us, like myself,
would have checked me. Check me. Y'all heard last week. Y'all heard last week. A nigga called in trying to check me at the end of the show.
His ass up. Fuck him.
And boom. That nigga, I had to shut him up. The nigga didn't want me to hit him with the law to say what he was saying was wrong. But so when he was out loud to me and wouldn't let me talk on my own show, I kicked him off. But I'm not afraid of no one coming up here challenging the law that I teach. Because you're not challenging me. Challenge the documentation I'm showing you. Challenge what they wrote in their records.
Right. That black or white. You always say, you say, yo, I got my shit from the Library of Congress. Where your shit come from?
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Someone asked me on the gram, what's the truth about Christianity? The truth about Christianity, it was Moors. It was what y'all call Ethiopian Moors that created Christianity. That's why when you look at the Bible, the oldest Bible they find is the Coptic Bible. And it was also the Ethiopians that created the Roman Catholic Church. And they were in cahoots to take over the original Holy Land, which y'all call the Americas. And they wanted to become the number one source of religious knowledge. They were behind the Vatican going here and going around the world and destroying all religious documents that went into the Anunnakis.
That's right. The Holy Scroll, the tablets, the scrolls, everything, bro.
Yes.
They burnt all that shit.
Yes. Now,
That's
this
the
is
whole
why I
shit
show
about
y'all the
black
Ica
people, all that
stones.
shit.
The Ica stones couldn't
Right.
be burnt. They are made out of stone.
Stone, right?
So the
That's
devil's
it.
a lie, and now the devil want to tell you that the world is flat.
Come on, man.
But I'm showing you the ancient stones that say this
Come on,
motherfucker round. Them stones show the whole planet, show the pyramids, show that the pyramids points to the other star systems that this
Right.
star system's connected to, because we don't live in a solar system with one sun. We got three.
No.
We got three
that's
in the
right.
solar system, but the planet was far enough away from the other suns that you didn't see it. But now we're getting close enough where you're seeing it now. Two suns
Right.
in the sky, and they can't
Right.
explain
The
it. They can't explain it.
gravitational pull.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They call it,
gravitational pull.
the planet is getting hotter and hotter, and they're calling it the greenhouse effect. No, nigga, it's the sun effect.
It's the gravitational
You got a yellow sun, a blue sun,
to the sun.
and a red sun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah,
That's now
yeah,
pushing
lady.
out what they call ultraviolet rays and all these other different frequencies of color. And the only people that can absorb that light info is melanated people.
That's it.
And you want to know why they want to do a culling on your ass, kill a lot of y'all off. Or they want to put this artificial shit in you to stop you from connecting to the God gene. That's what they call it, the God gene.
No doubt.
They want to turn off the God gene in you. And let me say this. Don't be mad at the white people. Don't be mad at the government is listening to melanated people that gave them this plan. It is melanated people that's in control of this shit. But they got the white people in the front to hide themselves.
Right.
To hide themselves. Who else could attack you like this except for your own? Who else?
Bruh, it's all these corporate motherfuckers and all these entities that all over the world court, whatever they have, where all these nations come together. This what you just said. These are the motherfuckers that's running this shit, and they got the Caucasian motherfuckers in the forefront, being the figureheads, being the puppets.
Right. You can. Okay, I'll give you an example of the witchcraft they use. Right.
That's fact.
Everyone loves that shit that come on Netflix. Well, I guess it was on regular TV too. Got is Game of Thrones.
Okay.
If you ever watch the Game of Thrones, it tells you that was happening in the time that Atlantis existed. Still exists in the world at that time. Now the ice wall, the ice wall that they show in that thing is when right after the goddamn flood happened and shit was frozen everywhere. So you had way more land back then. Right? Atlantis and none of that was flooded yet because that ice wall had to melt for for it to get covered with water. It hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Do y'all know that?
That's right.
A lot of the so-called, a lot of the people didn't exist on the planet yet. There was no white people on the planet yet.
Right.
They're portraying it like they were there when it was nothing but melanated people in that time.
Right.
Nothing but melanin. See, so that's the spell that they do on you by placing themselves into your stories. It makes you think they were there. They were around when dragons roamed. Because did you know in the Bible, they call dinosaurs dragons?
Yep.
The word dinosaur is a new word. The word for big ass reptiles is called dinosaur or dragons, all throughout the holy books. Right? So you have to do your studying and find that out. Now, if you go back to the Ica stones, which is showing the same time as the Game of Thrones time period, it shows you we existed with the dragons, the dinosaurs. We rode them motherfuckers like horses. That's where the cartoon The Flintstones came from. You gotta become knowing. Too. Yeah, you gotta become knowing.
Right. Bro, I tell people like the G, how you figure that if we the first people here, if everybody derived from us and came from us, the melanated man, how the fuck we didn't run the government?
They already did all across the world. They did independent studies, right, on genetics. They said every motherfucker on the planet got Neanderthal genes. That means they came from rat, cat, dog, because y'all don't believe Elijah Muhammad.
Right. That's the pig.
Dog, cat, rat.
That's the pig.
Is in their genetics, right? Which means that they don't have hair. That's fur. That's fur.
That's
right? And they said all the people that was melanated with what we call 9 ether hair, kinky hair, nappy hair, no Neanderthal.
To straighten it out.
No Neanderthal. Right. Original people. Because y'all are the Nunakis left over. The Elohim. The Elohim. Descendants straight from Elohim. Y'all were the gods.
That's right.
That everyone worships.
Right.
Look how far, and every movie they show you, they want to beat God and become the new God.
Hey, Jonah, check this out. Now, the nudity, they had, now, this is where, I want to build on this right quick. The nudity had a group of because they were experimenting, they were dealing with, high explosives, you already know. Mm-hmm. So they were trying to, have a race to serve them. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And it used to be called.
Check it. They had several problems. They did it. They did two different creations. They did two different creations of atoms.
Some shit like that.
Right. They did the atoms. They created the man that they needed to serve in the mines. Right. Then after the flood,
or something like that.
After the flood, they had to do genetic experiments again to bring about more people to replenish the land. They also had to recreate a bunch of the actual trees, greens, vegetables. They had to recreate everything. That's why Genesis starts off talking about replenishing, and the earth was boohoo and tohu without form. That means it was muddy. You couldn't even stand on them. They had to dry that shit out. They used technology to do it. They used salt and heaters to dry shit out. Right? They had to create canals and ditches for the water to drain into. Right?
Yeah, too much.
Why do you think before the Europeans got here in America, did you know you could travel straight waterways across the whole continent of the Americas?
Right.
With streams, rivers, and all that. We didn't have the need for cars because we were using personal subs. We always had submarines. Y'all don't know about this shit. This is antiquity that they hide.
Yeah, G, you going
but that's in the museums.
Nah, you're right, bro. A lot of people don't know this shit, bro. This is way out their scope, bro.
They call it the Antiquitha. The Antiquitha, right, was this little clock.
Yeah, right.
It was this little clock that they found that's more complex than any of the clocks we have today, right?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. G.
And it was used inside submarines. So you would know where the fuck you was going when you was under the water.
Yeah, they found that shit, bro. I seen that shit. That shit is sick, bro. They couldn't even figure it out. They're like, Ancient. Real talk. I know exactly what you're talking about. That shit real.
I can't make this shit up. See, but the difference is I'm knowing. I learned this shit for myself and to teach to my kids.
Me too.
So I'm asking you, what are you doing? If y'all being Moors, look your best, Moors do your best. are you teaching the
Well,
kids
I'm just
shit
telling you-
about their
Yeah.
past
Oh.
to connect them to their
Facts.
ancestors? Or
Facts.
are you
Real
letting them
talk.
tell you the earth is flat and the Anunnakis never existed? Your ancestors never existed. Because you live in a...
Wow.
And here's my thing. If we live up under a dome, who made the dome?
Right. And what is made out of?
Right.
What is it made out of?
Right.
They talking about the magnetosphere. That's the only dome. That's like electronics to keep
Okay.
the
So
waves
here's
and all
the
that
thing.
other shit
Here's the
out.
thing. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk scientific.
All right.
We Moors. We
All right,
supposed to be
let's go.
scientists, right?
Mhm.
If you take a magnet
Facts.
and you have the magnet does make a field, right?
No doubt.
We call it the magnetic field. But the magnetic field
Right.
makes what is called a tortoise field. That means
Mhm.
from the top of the magnet, the field goes around
bottom.
it to the bottom on
Right.
the right-hand side, the
Right.
left-hand side. It looks more like a
And-
fucking apple. That's the tortoise
No
field.
doubt. And
It looks like an apple.
right. And it
So
facts. Yep.
why the
Yep.
hell would the magnet inside the planet not create the same field when every magnet does make that field?
And that's what creates.
So how the fuck do you got a flat Earth? You only got one.
There's no
The
way.
magnets only creating one side of the field. Bullshit.
Nah,
Magnets don't work
Nah,
that
that's-
way.
Right.
Magnets
No,
don't
they
work
damn
that
sure
way.
don't.
Don't you know that?
The magnets are circular.
Now,
it's circular.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So if you're at the top of the magnet and you could
Mhm.
see the field,
Mhm.
wouldn't it be a hole down the middle of the magnet on the top and the bottom?
It sure will, because it's going to go.
Isn't that what the ancestors said the
right
planet is? They said there's a big ass hole at the top and the bottom of the planet. Now,
that's what they always say.
when
They
you
always say
use
that, bro.
your telescope yourself and you look, you might have to go to an observatory to see this one. But if you look at the planets,
Right.
they can show you where that hole is.
Yeah, it's at the north. It's at the north
On
pole,
every
and
planet.
South pole.
On every planet.
Facts. Yep. Because that's
What's up
where
with
the
that?
magnetosphere is. That's where the magnet shit is. So that hole is created.
That's like saying you gonna
See,
find an apple
yeah.
that doesn't have the core on the top and the bottom. You're not gonna find an apple that doesn't have that. You're
Nope.
not.
Because it ain't no apple. It ain't no apple.
Feel me?
It ain't no apple if it don't have that. No
Feel
doubt,
me?
G. That's real shit. Yeah,
This is
people
what I'm
don't-
saying.
Bro, this is
You gotta be a scientist.
Yeah,
When I was taught, when I was a god in Earth, right? I used to go to 125th in New York. And
you know how we do.
they gave me straight mathematics, man.
Straight up. Yep, we was
You know what I
always
mean?
in tune with the earth. We was always in tune.
Right.
Like, people don't even realize, G, like everything with our body and everything that has in us right now is universal. Everything has to do with the earth, the moon, the sun, the stars, everything.
But they
And
want
it's
you,
all
the devil wants you to
mathematically
think
within us.
it's not connected.
Real talk.
They want you to think it's not connected. They hitting you with confusion. They're making you think you're not a god. They're making you think you're weak. They're making you think you came from apes. But they've done the genetics research and found out you have no animal in your DNA.
And
But they do.
no monkey, none of that.
Did you know
Right.
that they
They
found out that a regular house dog has human DNA? Mm-hmm.
Damn. The
And I'm
house
trying to
dog
tell
goes
you,
to-
I'm
goes
trying to
to
tell you, when the flood happened, they had to
Yeah.
replenish. So they took shortcuts to,
Mm.
to populate the earth. We did.
Right.
We did as the gods,
Right.
as the Elohim.
Facts.
You know what I
Yes,
mean? It's all written throughout the books, the holy books all over the planet. This is why they don't want you reading those books. They want to give you a sanitized version.
Right.
They don't
Right.
want you
To make
knowing
you- to
no
make you see you're
ancient
not
languages.
significant. Right.
See, everything is written in Latin. All law is written in Latin. They tell you it's a dead language. They don't want you to know that because then you could study everything yourself.
Yep, and it's over for them.
Feel me?
It's over for them.
Y'all don't think it's a coincidence that most melanated people, so many melanated people, speaks a form of Spanish, which is nothing but a form of Latin. Why?
Yep.
Out of all languages, why we all gravitate to that bitch?
Bruh, you look at the common law. The common law is just like that. Same shit. It's all in Latin. That's it. When you see the common law, you're like, oh shit, wait a minute. Hold up. This shit right here is, why is it in Latin? Like, why is it in,
Yo, all the animals is written in Latin. Their proper names is Latin names. All the trees is Latin. All the herbs, everything. The laws that every nation uses written in Latin.
Yeah. Try to tell people that.
But they'll tell you this Moor shit never happened. They'll tell you we weren't Moors. They'll tell you all this shit. See, there's teachers out there that's meant to confuse y'all. That is why you must become knowing. This is why more study. And when you finish studying more, study some more. But yo, wonderful talking. You got anything else to add before I move on to the next one?
I got one question for you. My G. Yo, you going in? Yo, keep this. Look, bro, Jonah. I love when you come out with that shit because people don't know your shit, like what you've been through and what you study. I don't know all of what you done, but I know a lot.
Right.
Because we built, and you've been in day one. Now, this is what I want to ask you. When did you find out there was a do not stop, do not detain list? I got more questions, but I'm going to ask you with it. But that's the one I want to ask you.
It came to me in a dream.
Yeah.
That information was handed down in a dream from the ancestors, right?
Yeah.
Then I was reading the Wise Trustee Handbook, and it talked about the injunction, and I knew what it was from the dream. And that's how I put it all together. I try to tell people they believe whatever the fuck they want. I was anointed by the ancestors or God or whatever you want to call it, the universe, to teach what I teach. That's why I teach the way I teach it. So real, right? So reach the common people. Can explain complex shit.
Malachi Z. York is, but they don't
he definitely gave me my background.
Because people don't, you was one of his stewards. You was right next to him, bro. That right there. I mean, bro, when you said that, when I first heard you, I was like, what? I was like, whoop. I said, yeah,
I was ordained. Let me tell you something. I will tell y'all the truth. I knew I was supposed to teach even when I was in a leader, when I was even, 10, 9, 10, right? And everyone gravitated to me. I was always that nigga. That was the boss of everything we did. We play outside playing karate. They looking for me to set it all up so we could have a good time. We react to movies and shit. That seemed logical to me, right? But I didn't want to teach. And I'm going to tell you why.
Right.
It puts me in the spotlight. It always made me get into fights. Believe it or not, I like to be non-confrontational. I don't like fighting. I know how to fight because I've been in so many fights. But something about my personality either lifts people up or tears their it tears them down, their self-confidence, and then they want to attack.
Yeah, because they weak ass motherfuckers. Their vibration is low. That's why. Their vibration is low, so they got to get up. You don't, in order to get with somebody, you don't tear them down. You just get on their level. Level the fuck up. That goes for everybody, yo. Don't hate. Everybody come together, man.
The name that shall not be mentioned.
Yeah.
Went. First of all, he did a show on Sunday. That's Joey's day and Shaka's day, right? Then he went live. And I said, I told y'all they was, I told y'all they was going to bite my style. I told you they going to start doing live everywhere because I'm doing it. I'm a
Right.
leader of the leaders.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
Wow. Wow. And they still listening to this motherfucker.
Right.
Good gracious.
Right. Well, he know who taught him everything. He knows it.
Right.
And I don't have no problem with him teaching, long as he teach people correctly. I beef with
he's
false information.
But he a poison animal eater anyway. He ain't, me and him, we done had, I done had to wreck him in his own damn
Someone said,
seminar. Real talk.
Someone said, F that weirdo.
No doubt. Facts, G. Real talk, bro.
But let me get to another caller. We only got 25 minutes.
My G, I'm gonna talk to you Wednesday. Peace,
all right,
everybody.
peace, God.
Hey, man. Hey,
Clubhouse. Yo, I'm going to check out Clubhouse. I want to go live on Clubhouse too. Fuck it. I didn't even know. I got to learn all the different social medias. I really didn't know half of them. Like, I plan on getting a Patreon, because there's a lot of new people coming, and I want to be able to teach the new people on how to deal with court cases in court and all that. Give them the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. So I plan on working a little harder. I plan on working a little harder this year. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to call 570-856. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace to the God.
What up? How you doing?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm wonderful, magnificent, great. That large sums of money flow through me and you and all brothers and sisters of divine fig tree. Ashe. Yeah, bro, man, you dropping it heavy tonight, man. I'm just sitting here just mesmerized because there's so much truth and the good energy. A lot of us Moors who rolling dolo, who's not, with a team or temple, it's good to see that brothers and sisters coming together and really building on some real shit and not on that fictitious bull.
Right. Like, I had a Moor, Temple Moor, on Facebook. No, it was on the gram. I'm sorry. On the gram, he's like, oh, how you looking your best, dressed like a European.
Yeah, man, that's just so ignorant. And they don't even understand that.
I said, nigga, who the fuck made those suits? Italian fine. Silk didn't come from Europe. That shit came from Moors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, and first of all things European is not you. I'm like, you need to grow because you really think that all things European came from people that lack melanin. And I says all that shit was created by people with melanin. Europe was ruled by nothing but melanated people, and that's what the GOT, the Game of Thrones, is about. Black people, melanated Moors that ruled over there. That's what that whole shit's about. Each land was a different part of what y'all call Europe today. It was Ireland. One land was Ireland. One land was Britain or Albion, because I actually heard them say Albion in that show, right? I forget what the other lands was, but the Iron Throne was the one that ruled all the lands of Europe. See what I'm saying?
Which is under the fire. It was the fire. What was the name of it? Yeah, I got you though.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, y'all need to learn more about global history. Most people don't know the Tatarians are Hebrews. They part of the Hebrews.
Yeah, that's right.
Tatarians, Russia, all that land was the Tatarians. A tribe, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Y'all don't know that shit.
Yeah, that's why they said the 7 kingdoms.
So how the fuck you talking about what I'm wearing? came from someone that had lack of melanin.
Oh my God.
And let me be frank. Let me be frank.
Yeah.
I broke this down before. When you're doing a job, you're supposed to wear the uniform. So, like I said, Wednesday I'll have on my garb. Why?
Yeah.
I'm teaching a class on Moorish stuff. That's a uniform. I can wear that, right? When I'm doing commerce, this is the uniform from commerce. Sometimes I rent out my cars to rappers. I rent out my cars to rappers, right? Put it in their videos and shit, right? Well, the uniform for that is hip hop with mad gold on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I go swimming, I wear a swim trunk. That's the uniform for that. You wear the proper uniform for the job that you're doing. Moors, look your best. Moors, do your best. Nigga, you're not going to be delivering pizza in a suit. You're not a garbage man and you have on a suit.
That's
but
like one time,
if you're a garbage man, you want to have on a brand new coverall and keep your shit mad clean. Get black boots. Don't get wheat Timberlands because they going to get fucked up the first day, never come clean. Get black leather boots where you can shine them. You can shine them every day, right? Don't throw someone's garbage can over and break. Yo, sit it down nicely and quickly.
Yeah.
Make sure ain't no garbage on the ground. I guarantee you look that good and doing that good of a job, you're not going to be a regular garbage man for long. You're going to become a supervisor. Yeah. You're going to make more money. You're going to be telling everyone else how to do what you used to do at your level. Moors, look your best. Moors, do your best. That simple. Right. But wear the proper uniform for the job you're doing, but do your best. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you know, the thing is the Kingu spell. And a lot of us are familiar with that.
Yes.
That are doing the science. And understanding and overstanding and understanding that our people is so dilute in the spell that they can't see with the light. They have this veil over their eyes when the religion, Christianity, told you to have faith, to believe. And everyone got stuck because you started believing. And you
we don't know.
Not even knowing.
We're not knowing no more. Well, you know, Dr. York always told you the first mortal, Enoshites, meant mortal. And we became people that believed instead of knowing. We became mortal. We got to go back to becoming knowing.
That's right.
And the only way to fucking know is to study. And when you finish studying, study some more. Noble dwelling.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, you told me other day that I had sent you an email, and you was like, the domestic trust.
Right.
I'm the more that send that.
Right. See, I asked that question because I haven't read the rules that you sent me yet. Right? Yeah. So I had to ask you because obviously you read it, and I was like, yo, as long as it ain't domestic, and you was like, hell no. Nah. I'm like, yeah, you roll with that.
Yeah. Because when you look up domestic, then that's telling you that the U.S. can have jurisdiction in your trust if you're domestic.
Exactly. That's what me and Dude was debating on the other day at the end of my show. Like, nigga, don't come over here trying to get people to do domestic shit.
Yeah, you don't know, man. This is what's setting us back. There's a lot of people out here.
Noble Juali said, be careful. Your brothers and sisters that's more is going to lead you right back into the belly of the beast.
It's slavery.
Yes.
Right back into servitude, Mo.
Yes.
And you wonder why we can't get ahead when you like, Mo, do your best. And they looking at you, well, why you dressed like you? First of all, I had an incident.
You know what kills me?
And, you know,
Why would he say that when you can go to any temple and you're going to see brothers with suits on, with their bush on, with their fez on? Any temple.
Because let me tell you where it comes
Noble
from.
Drew Ali, all his old pictures, either he got on garb or a suit. Am I lying?
Absolutely. He's gone.
So why that nigga had to hate on me for following my ancestors? Why he got hate on that?
Look, you already know, man, the YouTube black conscious community, so-called black conscious community, they tricking everybody to think real ignorant and poor.
Right.
So they can keep coming back to them.
Right.
Spending their money, spending the fiat. They got you thinking that fiat is money. So everybody is like, oh man, I gotta keep giving. I ain't gonna say their names, but
listen, and that's my thing. They love to tell you there is no money. That's untrue. That's a half truth, half lie. Yo, nigga, if you want real money, you can go get real money. You take the FRNs and trade it in for real money. It's your choice to do that. So if you ain't got no real money, it's your fault. I got real money.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I got real money.
You know it.
I've had real money before I even moved down south to Georgia. I've always made sure I keep real money, gold and silver. Because, like I said, I learned from Dr. York, and I learned all that very young. Very young. I was in my teenage years. Not mid-teenager, early teenager. So, you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't try to belittle FRNs because you don't know what to do with them.
Exactly.
And I assure you, you ain't getting no damn gold without no FRNs unless you robbing niggas. Chains off their neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me add to that too. Also, like I heard Amore was on a call last week and he was talking about getting into commodity trading.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had dabbled in that. And let me tell you, that's a very dangerous game.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to tell you that it's not.
We wanted to go to Africa and buy the gold directly from the mines. Now, you know, a lot of people don't know this. A gold mine is the same mine they do silver and diamonds in. Mm-hmm. The vein that they find has gold, silver, platinum, diamonds. It's all in the same shit. So almost any mine can give you all of those, right? The difference is these motherfuckers will steal you and kill you and kidnap you when you're trying to go there and buy it. Your own brothers. Your own brothers, y'all. Melanated people doing that.
Yeah. You think you're gonna walk in there and get something? No.
You got to know someone. You ain't just gonna. You're gonna have to trust someone. Send them in there with it and come out with it. You can't go yourself.
And you better have an army or
you better have an army, or they're gonna rob you once they sell it to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you, man, I had African brothers tell me straight up, like, listen, I like you, and you're smart, you're doing what you're doing, but just stick with real estate. Just stick with all, they're telling me, I'm like, I want to, I can get some diamonds, gold, I'm trying to bring it. They're like, listen, no, it will kill you.
Yes.
And that's when I really started doing more research on it, and now you see why that it's not a business that's real popular.
Yeah, well, you got to understand that the non-melanated people, the beers and all that pays your brothers and sisters, so-called Africans. They're not Africans. The continent's called African. The nations are called something totally different, right? And they pay them to do that to y'all. They'll pay them to rip us off, steal it, make sure no one can get out of there with those commodities. Even if they're paying for it. It's a mob. It's racketeering.
That's right.
Because that's how they control the prices. that's how they control the market. They're not playing fair.
Not at all.
Because you got nations where people are poor as fuck and they got to go to the watering hole. And in the watering hole, they're finding diamonds, gold, and all that, but they don't give a fuck about that. They need water.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, they controlling that. And they got those little makeshift armies that just goes around finding anyone who's trying to, get those commodities out of there, and they just kill them. And they're paid to do that.
That's right. That's right.
Guerrilla warfare came from that.
Yeah. Which is also a science that we taught and we studied and mastered. And we, like you said, everything that that you see that's happening to us, we taught them.
Right.
Those people.
And that's why I said we got to clean ourselves up, man. You can't be talking shit about they were babies and we taught them all this evil. Now you mad because that's all they do?
Yeah.
And you do half that shit right now. Most of our people, if they were in control, they'd be doing the same shit to their own people and everyone else. Y'all ain't no better. Yeah. Let's keep it real. But hey, brother, wonderful talking to you. You only got 9 minutes. I want to get at least 2 more calls. Peace.
All right, bro. Peace and love.
All right, I'm going to 636-249. Peace to the God. Peace.
Hey, peace to the guys. I have one question that I also want to comment on everything you've been talking about tonight. Hey, great show. Love
Thank you, brother.
Man. I think we all do. Definitely appreciate you. I was just gonna say, the Charter of Georgia and that 1774 congressional record. That's records what you was talking about before,
right?
About like when you say out of slavery and stuff. Like, we ain't got no records.
Right? No records. I showed y'all.
But their stuff is recorded.
Their shit is recorded.
It's recorded.
We ain't recorded nowhere.
Yeah.
I showed y'all in the actual Georgia's charter.
That's why I got from you.
All the motherfuckers came over here. When they came, and they also said if you're a state citizen, you're still what? A slave.
Yeah.
Under the state's constitutions and charters. Like and if you remember, where is that original charter at? Where can you find the original?
Maybe the Library of Congress?
No, remember, it said it's in England.
Oh.
It said it's in England. Listen, I can't make this shit up. Like, remember when I gave a quote from Benjamin Franklin's book that they hide? They never want y'all to read the founding fathers' information because they ain't who y'all think they are. And also, they were all Muslims. All them niggas was Muslims, right? Because they was under the Moors. They was under the Moors. Now, he said there was no white people in the world 200 years ago.
Pitchfork Tillman, right? Yep, he said that.
He said it in the book. See, but newbies never heard me say that. So one of these days, I'm going to pull that back up and show them again.
Mm-hmm.
Show more people again the truth that, the Europeans that came here look like me. The lightest ones look like Drake, but you could still tell Drake is melanated. Now, Drake's baby, that baby is a white man. His baby's a white man. And that's how amalgamation works. 4 generations. And then you end up with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid.
Facts.
Trying to tell y'all, Mendes, if you look up Mendes, he did genetics. He did the research on genetics being, what is it called? Recessive and dominant. And he said every fourth generation of that gene produces the recessive.
Strand.
Yeah, the
weakest
recessive
strand.
strand. So that's why you had octoroon, quaterroon, quinteroon. I'm missing one. I can't remember which one I'm
You
missing.
dropped some knowledge on me right. You dropped
Right.
some knowledge on me right now. I never even heard these words before.
Yo, this was the different levels of amalgamation.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I just don't remember.
They don't use those words no more because
That's
they don't
stream
want
of
y'all
knowledge.
to understand how a white man
Exactly.
is created. Well, I'm telling y'all, look at Drake's kids and you could see how a new white man was just created. His son, my bed, is white. Blonde hair, blue eye, white complexion. He's not melanated. His father is melanated, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't have to make this shit up. You can see it in real life. Right?
To get that from you, like, or because I didn't know what I paid. What did I pay for the stuff we talked about? What's the passport?
The passport?
It's like we just spoke yesterday. Like, do I hit you up?
Yeah, hit me in the email. Hit me in the email.
Okay.
And with your phone number and what we're gonna discuss, I'll hit you back and we go through the steps.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Okay. Peace.
All right, I'm going to the last call of tonight. 616-723. Peace to the God. Peace. 616-723. They probably got me muted. All right, I'm going to try this one. And then if they don't answer, I'm out. 619-946. Peace to the God. Peace.
To the God, Jonah.
What up?
Peace to the God. Well, I ain't really got nothing. I just wanted to say, one of the callers, one of your students had a question. Is your artist who did the artwork for you? He's coming to Georgia. He coming to Georgia next week, and he wanted to deal with the trust. So he said, "How he contact?"
All he got to do is hit me in the email. Tell me he the one who made my thing, and also that he's trying to do the trust, and tell him to leave his phone number. Heard that. And the topics is fire. The topic is fire that you was dropping on. They did hide the information for sure. And we just getting around to it, and you helping us discover it and opening our eyes. Thank you, brother. And that's what we got to do. Each one teach one. Peace to the God. Well, guys. Yes, sir. That's our show for today. I hope y'all really enjoyed it. We got the upcoming webinar this weekend. The Trust House lawsuit for $200. It's a short webinar, but it's going to be packed with goodies to get that house free and clear. So buy tickets at jonahbay.com. All right, we out of here. Peace to the gods, man. Time for me to turn off the lives.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.